Okay, invest your time. Think like an investor. What are you going to invest it in? Number one, you're going to invest in your fitness. Number two, you're going to invest in your diet. I'm going to speak with you today about aging because I know that a lot of you are looking around at your friends and your family, maybe some people that you work with, and you're seeing them age just a little bit too quickly, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want that for me. I get it. This is Mark Johnson, the founder of Bounce Back, bringing you ideas for a fit and flourishing future. And I am the youngest son of Bill Johnson. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I do appreciate it. To start this off, we're going to ask the question, how can you age more slowly and fool everyone? There are a couple things that we need to understand right off the bat. One is chronological age, the other is biological age. Chronological age is something that you cannot control. It is simply the amount of time that has passed since you came out of the womb until today. It is what it is. Biological age is something that you have some control over. It's based on your lifestyle choices, specifically your choices related to maintaining your health and fitness. So, a person who is chronologically 40 years old, if they have terrible health, don't pay attention to their fitness, they can be biologically 60 years old. In other words, they have the body of a 60-year-old man or woman, even though they've only been here for 40 years. So I want you to focus on the biological age because that's what you have some control over. Okay. Now, with that said, when people think about aging, I think they tend to think about things like wrinkles and getting gray hairs, but there are a few things that are underemphasized. And if you can really begin to focus on improving these things, then it's going to improve the rate at which you age. The way that people perceive how old you are will change if you improve these three things. One is your posture, okay? The second is your gait, and the third is your pace. So your posture is just, are you standing up straight? Are you upright? Your gait is the way that you walk. For instance, if you have a short stride versus a long stride, a short stride looks old. If you have a longer stride, it looks more youthful. And then, of course, your pace. If you move slowly, you just look older. That's just the way it is. So you want to make sure that you're not just moving slowly, like creaky and rickety and slow. If you move like that, then that's something that you're going to have to work on. And the formula is not that complicated. What it really comes down to is your focus and follow through. Okay. So this is all stuff I guarantee you already know what I'm going to say, but what it's going to come down to is your focus on getting it done and your follow through. Now, with that said, I want to point out a few things that, on the surface can help you to look more youthful, which those things are makeup and fashion, and some people choose surgery. Now, understand, yes, you can put on some makeup. It'll make you look a little nicer. You can buy some fancy clothes. It generally helps. Okay. You can have surgery. That might help if the surgery goes well. Sometimes the surgery is a disaster, but that's another conversation. But I want you to understand those things are all facades. So what we're going to talk about today is getting beneath the facade. Okay. We're going to go beneath the facade. So we're not talking about putting on makeup. We're not talking about wearing fancy clothes. We're not talking about getting some kind of cosmetic procedure done. That's not what we're talking about. I want you to focus on doing this, investing your time. Okay. Invest your time. Think like an investor. What are you going to invest it in? Number one, you're going to invest in your fitness. Number two, you're going to invest in your diet. What does that mean? When I say fitness, I mean training, working out. Now, training and working out generally involves two things. You can throw in a third one, but the main two things are resistance training, which means lifting weights, and cardio. The third one would be stretching if you want to include that. Okay. But focusing on the main things, lifting weights and cardio. Make sure that you lift weights because understand that you can lose as much as 8% of your muscle mass per decade after you turn 30 years old if you do nothing about it. It's not a given. I said, if you do nothing about it, you can lose anywhere from 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade after you turn 30. So the good news is you can do something about it. Work out, lift some weights, do some cardio. It's not a complicated formula. Number two was what? Diet. Okay. I know that maybe when you were in your teens and your 20s, maybe even in your 30s, you were just eating anything that you wanted to be, anything that you wanted to eat, didn't think about the health consequences, weren't worried about it, weren't concerned. But I'm here to tell you, I am the messenger. If you're in your 40s, your 50s, by God, your 60s, you cannot just eat anything that you want to eat. Health consequences be damned. Like those days are over. You've got to pay attention to what you're putting into your body. So look at your diet. Eat healthy, fresh foods. If you're eating a lot of prepackaged, pre-made foods, junk food, fast food, a lot of fried food, those are things you need to cut back on. And I mean sooner rather than later. Cut back on the unhealthy foods. I want you to focus on fresh foods, improve your diet. This is going to help you age more slowly. Number one, it's going to improve your skin. And if you want good looking skin, you've got to eat things like fruits and vegetables. Eating fruits and vegetables will improve the way your skin looks. Okay. Make sure you get protein. Protein builds muscle. Okay. Get plenty of protein. Don't be afraid to have some meat and chicken and get that protein. Build that muscle. So, those are the two things that you need to invest your time in. Now, when I say investing time, I'm obviously talking about going into a gym or if you're working out at home and putting in time working out. It needs to be several times per week. You need to be working out several times per week. When I'm talking about investing time in your diet, what I'm telling you is everything that you eat cannot be prepackaged and pre-made. At some point, you got to get in the kitchen and spend time slowly preparing a meal, a real food, not ultra processed food. Invest time in preparing real healthy meals. Okay. It's an investment of time. Mark Johnson here. I'm excited to invite you to join Bounce Pep's 3-day VIP focus and follow through retreat here in Kyoto, Japan. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have, and you can't waste it. So I want you to come join me. I'm going to work with you personally. We're going to work on what your true purpose should be at this point in your life so that you can focus in on it and you can follow through and make progress. You're going to be treated like a true VIP. You're going to have 2 days of the actual program where we do a bit of work, and then we're going to have 1 day where you go on a curated tour through the legendary city of Kyoto, Japan. If you've never been to Japan, this is your chance. Now, a final point is this. The formula is not difficult. You already know all of this. There are no secrets that have been shared in this video. So I want you to follow up on this, follow through, do these things. And I want you to stay consistent because consistency is what builds momentum. If you start working out, stick with it. When you make improvements to your diet, stick with it. Okay? Drink more water, eat more fruit, eat more salad, all right? Eat fewer fried foods. Stick with it for the long term. Get in the gym, lift weights. If you started 2 months ago, you should still be doing it a year from now. Keep it going. Don't lose the momentum. Momentum is hard to build. Don't waste the momentum that you build. So stay consistent.